About 10 seconds went by, and just like that movie, Field of Dreams, with Kevin Costner, you know, that old baseball movie, Derek, Corey, Stephen, and Ricky all walked out of the trees into the clearing, all about 10 seconds after each other. They were shielding their eyes with their right hands and dropping them as soon as they'd entered the clearing and looking around. Once everyone was there, Derek asked Corey angrily, "Dude, what the hell happened to you?" "Dude, what happened to you?" Corey asked in response. "What happened to all of you? I walked into the trees and you all disappeared," Ricky yelled. "I didn't disappear, you did. You all did," Stephen yelled back. "What the hell was that red light and that growling? And those lights in the treetops too? Where did the rain go? And the fog?" Derek yelled hysterically. "And why was it so damn dark in those trees? This is some messed up stuff." Guys, calm down. Let's think about this," I said. "The same thing happened to all of us, so there must be a reason." "I don't give a crap about a reason. I want to go home," Ricky said. "Dude, if I'm busting this shell wide open, then you are coming with me," I said to him. After that, we all stood there in silence, not even looking at each other, just staring at the trees that we'd just come out of. Now, in case you're wondering how I can remember every little thing in extremely vivid detail, and remember exactly what everyone had said, I'll tell you. I have what's called a photographic memory, so I pretty much remember everything. I could tell you what I had for breakfast November 27th, 1972, if I thought about it long enough. Let's see. Captain Crunch cereal with chocolate milk. Sometimes it's a blessing, but sometimes it really sucks. Anyway, from behind us came the loud, booming voice of Bob. "Boys, you made it. Congratulations." We turned around expecting to, of course, see Bob standing in the clearing, but instead he was standing in what appeared to be his office, and so were we. He no longer wore his Florida tourist outfit, but was now dressed in a blood-red three-piece suit complete with a hat, a black tie with flames on it, and black wing-tipped shoes. Gone was the cigarette. It was replaced with a cigar, and he was standing behind an old mahogany desk that looked to be in pristine condition. A huge black leather chair was behind him, and on the desk was a reading lamp, a huge stack of papers, a black rotary phone, a cup full of red ink pens, a clear glass ashtray, and a huge bottle of Jack Daniels with a shot glass beside it. The floors were made of dark hardwood, with a huge black throw rug that read, "Hellfire Records," in big red letters, and it was laying in front of the desk, facing us, and with 5 black leather armchairs sitting on top, surrounding the desk and facing Bob's chair. The walls were made of mahogany as well, and had large pictures of hellish scenes hung on them. There was a large picture of Bob himself behind his desk, and he was wearing the same outfit as he was right then. The nameplate on the picture reading, "Robert Belts, 1734. 1734, I thought. What the hell? Apparently, we all had the same thought, though, as just then we quickly turned around and started to run back through what we thought were the trees, but instead we ran directly into the back wall of Bob's office at full speed. We all heard Bob laughing maniacally behind us. "What the hell, man?" Derek and Corey both said at the same time, as we all turned back around. They took a step towards Bob then, with their fists clenched. "Easy, boys," Bob said. "You don't want to do anything you're going to regret. Have a seat." "Nah, you laced that weed with something. Put something in the beer and the coffee. How are we in here when we were just out there?" Derek asked in frustration. "Is this another stupid dreamscape?" I asked. "No, it's not, and I assure you, dear boy, I did nothing to those incentives. I mean, what are you so freaked out about? It's not like you haven't been here before," Bob said. "What are you talking about, been here before? We've never been here before," Stephen said. "Oh, but yes, you have. I believe you were on the other side of this place and had a very interesting conversation with my Let's say right-hand man, Bob said in a cocky tone. What? Corey asked. Boys, you can't really be that brain-dead. I am. Wait a minute, I know who you are, I said, interrupting Bob. He turned to look at me. Really? He said, devilishly. Yeah. Your last name is Bells. One L and with a Z. Your first name is Robert. But you told us to call you Bob. If you reverse the names, it becomes Bells Bob. B-L-Z Bob. Beelzebub. You're the devil, and we're in hell, I said. Oh, that's impressive. Aren't you the smart one? You know, after all the years that I have used that name, you are the first one to figure it out, and I'm impressed. So much so that I will grant you one wish at no cost to you. Now what will it be? The devil asked. Nice try. I'm not that stupid. I'll reserve my wish for another time, I said confidently. Very well, he responded. Now back to business. Have a seat, boys. The rest of the guys just stared at me as we all walked towards the chairs and sat down, and each one of our names was printed on a nameplate in front of each chair. Derek was on the far left, Stephen was next to him on the right, I was in the middle, Corey was next to me, and Ricky was on the far right next to Corey. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for agreeing to meet with me tonight. Now, as the sole owner of Hellfire Records, I wish to offer you a lucrative recording contract with us. The details of said contract are laid out within these documents, he said. He then handed us each a pile of papers from the large stack on his desk that were stapled together. We each took the papers without saying a word, and he placed a pile in front of himself. Now, if you would be so kind as to write your first, middle, and last names in the space provided at the top of the page, we can begin. He then handed all of us a red ink pen from the cup on his desk, and we all proceeded to write our names as he had told us to. Very good, boys, he said. Now, unlike normal recording contracts that involve lawyers and contain big fancy words and phrases that only they can understand, this contract is written in layman's terms. What? Stephen said. It means you can understand it, I explained. Oh, I like you, Bob, or the devil, or whatever you want to call him, said to me. What it says is that you agree to record 3 full-length albums within 7 years at Hellfire Studios, and they contain at least 10 songs each, totaling at least 42 minutes, but no more than 60. You will retain the rights to those songs, as well as the rights to the lyrics and music of said songs, and all 5 of you will be credited as writers in both aspects. It also states that you agree to participate in a 6 but not more than 8-month-long tour of various cities and countries that Hellfire Records has arranged for you, and to promote each album to a live audience. All proceeds from each album and subsequent tours will be split equally and paid in full to the 5 of you, as well as any proceeds from royalties, merchandising, distribution, guest appearances, or any other form of income gained by services not detailed within this agreement. Hellfire Records will provide any and all accommodations, including, but not limited to, travel, shelter, studio time, food, drink, or extracurricular activity. Hellfire Records will provide any payment for hospitalization, medication, or services needed, as a result of, but not limited to, injury, overdose, and any medical or physical condition that may arise while under contract. You will receive a $10,000 signing bonus tonight, simply for signing this contract, and you can read it all in full if you want to. I'll wait. We all looked at each other. $10,000, Derek mouthed slowly. So if this contract actually says what you say it says, then we all get the money and you don't get anything, and you pay for everything, right? I questioned. Absolutely, Bob said. If you agree to the conditions laid out within this contract, then please print your full name, sign your full name, and date it properly on the last page in the space provided. Dude, I'm in, Stephen said. Me too. We're going to be rich, Corey said. Yeah man, rock and roll, Derek said, and all three of them signed the contract. Very good, boys, Bob said. Next. Then he looked at Ricky. I'm not too good at this sort of thing, man. I don't know, Ricky said nervously. Mikey, what do you think? I think I'm going to read this contract in full before I sign anything, I said. Oh, okay. I'll wait. We're going to wait, he told Bob. I knew you were going to be the hard sell. But as you boys wish, take all the time you need, Bob replied. I will, I replied. But what's in it for you? I asked. Well, hopefully, if everything works out as planned, I will be getting something worth a lot more than money. At least to me, Bob said, smiling. Uh-huh, I said, then took the next 25 minutes to read over the contract as the rest of the guys just stared at me. While we wait, let me give you boys your signing bonus, Bob said as he opened the top right drawer of his desk and produced 3 stacks of $100 bills, placing one in front of Corey, then Stephen, then Derek. There you go, boys, just like it says in the contract. $10,000 all for you. All three of them smiled, removed the little paper strap from the stack, split the stack in half, folded them in half, and placed them in their right and left pants pockets. Damn, I'm in, Ricky finally said. I ain't waiting any longer. No, Ricky, don't, I yelled. But it was too late. He'd already signed. There you go, son, Bob said, placing a stack in front of Ricky. Pops could really use the money, Ricky said, smiling, splitting the stack and putting it in his pockets as well. I just shook my head. And last but not least, you, Mr. Hardsell, Bob said sarcastically. I finished reading the contract and everything seemed to be legit. No improper word placement, no fine print, no statements contradicting previous statements. Nothing. But something just didn't seem right about the whole thing. I mean, besides the obvious. Come on, man, Stephen said. Just sign it, dude, Corey said. Bust that shell, man, Derek said. So eventually, against my better judgment, I signed the contract. But instead of signing my real name, I signed it Patrick Zembler, which is very similar to my real name. Then I quickly closed the booklet of papers and tossed them to Bob. He didn't even look at any of the signatures. And there you go, $10,000 for you too. After Bob had signed each contract, he gently placed them all in the top left drawer of his desk. I split the money and put it in my pockets, as the others had done, but I didn't really need it, for reasons I stated before. But I was sure that someone could. Now on to the studio, Bob announced. Hold up, dude. It's been a really jacked up day and we're all exhausted. We need to get some sleep, Derek said. Bob then stood up quickly and slammed both fists down hard on the desk and yelled loudly. Don't mess with me, little boy. We all leaned back in our chairs, clutching the armrests tightly as Bob continued to yell at us. I know all about the deal you made with my associate. You don't need to sleep. Neither do you, or you, or you, pointing at Corey, Stephen, and Ricky. The only one that needs to sleep is him, he said, pointing at me. And he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. Now get your asses up and follow me before you really piss me off. We all got up quickly and stood behind Bob in the far right corner of his office. Bob then snapped his fingers, and immediately upon doing so, a wall panel opened up, revealing a long dark hallway, illuminated by flames from torches. Follow me, boys, Bob said in his happy, friendly tone. So we did. The entire hallway was made of dark grey stone, including the floor and the ceiling too, kind of like the stones that were used to build medieval castles. We walked and walked and walked some more, passing several elevator doors with only down buttons on the left and right sides of the hallway. The last elevator on the right only had an up button though, which I found really odd. Then finally, after about an hour, we reached a large wooden door. Bob pushed it open to reveal a state-of-the-art modern professional recording studio, complete with a huge mixing desk, and an extremely skinny guy sitting in a rolling chair in front of it. There was another stack of papers on the side of the desk, various recording equipment that I've never seen before, and a brown leather couch sitting against the far wall. In front of the mixing desk was the recording room. A large glass window sat on the wall between it and the studio room. Surprising to all of us in the recording room stood a condenser microphone, 3 smaller mics and a headset mic that was hanging off of Stephen's drum kit. There was also a keyboard and 2 acoustic guitars that weren't ours. The back wall was lined with Marshall stacks that weren't ours either, and various cables lying on the floor. "That's our gear," Derek said. "How the hell did you—" "Never mind that," Bob said sternly. "This is Edgar," he announced, putting his right hand on Edgar's left shoulder. "He'll be your producer and engineer." Edgar then stood up. He was short at about 5'0", extremely skinny, even skinnier than Derek, and he wore black dress pants with black dress shoes, a white button-up shirt that he had buttoned all the way up to his neck, and he had a grey pocket protector in the pocket of his shirt, with one of those 4-in-1 pens. He wasn't wearing a tie, but he was wearing the same kind of glasses that I had, except his had blue tape wrapped around the middle of the frames, holding them together. He looked like the guy that played the Lewis character in that movie, Revenge of the Nerds. I love that movie. "Hey guys," Edgar said in a high-pitched nasal tone, whilst waving his right hand open-palmed at us. He quickly took off his glasses with his right hand and sneezed directly into his left, then wiped it on his pants, which was absolutely disgusting. Before he put his glasses back on, though, I saw his eyes blink. Except they didn't blink up and down like yours and mine do. No, they blinked side to side, like an alligator's. "What the?" I said to myself. With his glasses now on, he clapped his hands and rubbed them together. "Okay, let's get started," he said. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you did, could you please give me virtual hugs by subscribing and clicking that notifications button. I also have a Patreon page and YouTube channel membership if you'd like to support me further. Thank you again for being here. Keep being creepy.